Hi there, my name is James Harvey, and I'm the new Economic Development Manager for the Dryden Development Corporation, which is an arm's-length company of the City of Dryden. I am so excited to be part of the City of Dryden's team and of the local team, which I consider the businesses and the residents. When it comes to economic development, the Dryden Development Corporation is mandated to look at ways of bringing economic benefit, stimulus, and investment into our community. Dryden has so much to offer. Since my arrival in March, we've been looking at ways to promote Dryden, to not only to outside businesses, but outside organizations. We've also been looking at ways to promote our local businesses and work with them. Economic development is about bringing investment into the city, reinvestment into the city, and also looking at the growth of our local businesses. When economic development is happening, it puts money into people's pockets who then go out and spend that money locally on goods and services. And it is the Dryden Development Corporation's plan to move forward on this to ensure that Dryden continues to grow, not only by bringing in the outside investment, by focusing on our local investment. And the Dryden Development Corporation is very excited about this, and I look forward to working with all of you in the upcoming months. Well, since I've been here, one of the many questions I get is regarding what exactly is the Dryden Development Corporation, or even more importantly, who is the Dryden Development Corporation? Which sometimes makes me chuckle, but also sometimes makes me cringe a little bit, because it means that we need to be able to promote ourselves much more within the community. Dryden Development Corporation is an arm's length corporation of the City of Dryden. We report to the City of Dryden, and our mandate and goal is to bring economic growth and stimulus to the community of Dryden. This is done through numerous initiatives. We look at industrial initiatives, we look at manufacturing, we look at the different sectors, be it mining, be it forestry or renewable energy. We've also now taken on the role of taking a hard look at the opportunities that are abound with sports, recreation, and tourism. These are all items that the Dryden Development Corporation works on. We work with our local businesses to help them succeed. One of the facts that is out there is that 80% of new businesses in any community actually comes from the existing businesses that are currently there. And our goal is to work with those businesses to help them expand, to help them spin off, and to create new and exciting business opportunities, which will then impact the actual economic growth of Dryden. Well, I think, one of the, again, we get asked a lot about economic opportunities and what is there economically in the area for Dryden. Currently, as everybody knows, the mining sector is taking off. This is something that across Northern Ontario that many municipalities are very excited about. For ourselves, we have mining opportunities within 20 kilometers of Dryden. We have Treasury Metals, we have Laurentian Gold, and we have Temaka Gold. All three of them are in the beginning process of moving forward, but Dryden is definitely situated to become the service center for Northwestern Ontario with our location for these mining companies. We also are able to take a look at the economic opportunities that being that service center. What are the other sectors that we can tackle and become the hub or the service center for? We are taking a look at renewable energy. We're taking a look at sports and recreation. Those are all areas that Dryden could really benefit from if we take a focus on the economic impact that those sectors would have when working with our local businesses. It also includes looking at outside industry and seeing if there's any industry that Dryden could become part of to bring to our industrial parks. As you know, we have our Centennial Park and we have our Norwell Park. Our Norwell Park is deemed zoned industrial, and we need to be able to fill that park. So we're going to be working with different companies, different manufacturers to show them and showcase Dryden's location in helping them succeed and grow their business. I think Dryden offers an enormous opportunity for investors and for businesses. Let's be honest. We're situated right in the middle of Thunder Bay to the east. We've got Winnipeg to the west. We've got our U.S. friends down just outside of Fort Francis. But also more importantly, we're a gateway to 45 First Nation communities to the north, which equals approximately 35,000 people. We are situated, located perfectly for businesses to invest here and utilize our location. We are perfectly situated to meet those needs of First Nation communities, of the people to the east and to the west and to the south. We are a perfect location for distribution. We're a perfect location to set up shop and be able to use your supply chain to across Canada to the US. And we're in a perfect place to help and supply the far north. Our focus at the moment at the Dryden Development Corporation are, we have 4 projects that are really, I think, taking off. One is cultural mapping. A lot of people come in and they say, what is cultural mapping? Well, cultural mapping right now is a project that the Dryden Development Corporation is the lead on for the communities that sit within the 13C tourist organization, which include Kenora, Ignace, Ear Falls, Red Lake, Sioux Lookout, etc. And what we're doing is we're working with those communities to create a cultural digital information website where people will be able to go on, plan their trips, look up festivals and festivities, look up the local businesses, and plan a trip around those festivals in the different communities. It will be able to map out, give you the contact information. It has the interaction like Google Maps where you can actually set up your entire trip. It will give you all the information you need to enjoy and experience Northwestern Ontario. Another project that we're looking at taking on, as everybody's heard recently, is the DDC has taken on sports, recreation, and investment tourism. This is a huge sector that I think Dryden has not tapped into, and we're ready to tap into it. We're looking at taking on regional events, regional tournaments. We are even looking at going provincial. We've recently seconded Ms. Andy Kidd from the Recreation Department into this role. She's already started contacting the provincial organizations and the regional organizations to see what Dryden can offer in order to pull those sports and recreational events into Dryden, which would create a huge economic spin-off for the local businesses, be it the hotels, be it the food, restaurant industry, but more importantly, be it our local business people. And that's what we're driving towards, is making sure that our local business people are striving and being the best they can be. Perfect example is, take a look downtown right now. It's starting to get busier and busier. And as the Dryden Development Corporation, we want to work with those businesses to ensure that continues and grows. Thirdly, what we're looking at is how we are marketing Dryden and who are we marketing Dryden to. Right now, we're taking a look at the fact that we need to market Dryden not only to our friends outside of the area, but we need to, in the near vicinity, we need to market Dryden as well in order to pull those local tourists in. It's not just all about bringing people from the US, Southern Ontario, Winnipeg, or the East. We need to bring in the local tourism as well, and that's something that we're going to take a real hard look at. Fourthly, and I think most importantly, what we're looking at is we're trying to find investors that want to invest in Dryden. And we need to be able to promote Dryden to those investors and tell them why they should come. And that's something that over the years, I think, has become less important, and it's the Dryden Development Corporation's goal to make it more important now, more than ever, to bring those investors, show them the quality of life that Dryden offers, show them that we are able to work with them, show them that we're able to assist them, and show them that Dryden is the place to grow. Thanks, Brad, for the question, and it's a great question at that. I've been down to the waterfront numerous times myself with my family since I've arrived in Dryden, and I think it's an opportunity that is sitting there that we really need to take a look at. As it stands right now, with the waterfront development, I believe what we need to do is look at a partnership with private investors, but also take a look at the investment that can be done by the city. So I'm going to continue to work with the city, but I'm also going to start the talks with the private investors to take a look at exactly what the waterfront, or how the waterfront can benefit with economic development. I think the waterfront is underutilized at the moment. I think it has a vast opportunity. I think it has a vast opportunity for tourism. I think it has a vast opportunity for sports and recreation events. But more importantly, I think it has a vast opportunity for us to take a look at and promote Dryden. We are very fortunate to be right on Lake Wabigoon, where the waterfront is an easy access for us and an easy access for investors. And I think we need to utilize that. And I think working in partnership with private sector investors is a first key. I think it's getting that investment, getting them their buy-in is where we need to go. But I think that a perfect example of how well Dryden can do is the 2010 Windsurfing Championships. There's a sports and recreation event that was held. It was the Canadian National Championships, brought in huge economic stimulus to the community, and we need to look at more events like that that will enhance Dryden, promote Dryden, and make Dryden the place to go to when it comes to waterfront activities. So the Dryden Development Corporation obviously has to look at industry, be it small, medium, or large, and the opportunities that Dryden has to bring those industries into the community. I'm going to be honest. Is a large industry coming to Dryden in the near future? I wouldn't count on it. Or is a medium and medium and small industry coming to Dryden? There's the possibility of that. But I think what I want to stress more importantly is that economic development is more than just recruiting an industry. We need to remember that economic health and prosperity to a community requires much more than just bringing in an industry or a company opening up its doors, a new plant in the local area. It's beyond that. Business retention and expansion, small business and entrepreneurial development, tourism, and retiree attractions, for example, generally receive a short shift, if you will, or shrift compared to when people talk about large industry. We need to be able to focus on those items at the same time as focusing on bringing industry here. If we can showcase those items to these large, medium-sized industries, it becomes much more enticing for them to come to Dryden than if we are simply saying, come here, we have land. They want to see that Dryden is economically sustainable. They want to see that Dryden locally is growing, and they want to see that Dryden has the investment in the local economy. That will show them that we also are able to invest in them from the outside. So we need to be able to bring in those industries, but right now, as I said earlier, to be honest, is it a large industry? At this time, probably not. But our goal and mandate is to ensure that we bring an industry into Dryden, and that is what we're working on right now. Cultural mapping actually is a web-based program which enables individuals, municipalities, businesses to upload their information onto a web-based application that allows users to go on and to search for festivals, events that are going on in different communities, which we call assets. Each community has given the Dryden Development Corporation a group of assets that they believe should be their first set of uploads. From there, what will happen is those users, like yourself, myself, will be able to go online and map out a tour. So if I plan on going to a powwow that say is in Eagle Lake, but I'd also like to go to the Walleye Masters Fishing Tournament in Dryden, I'll be able to look up those two events, map out the dates, map out the travel time, put together an itinerary, and at the same time, search for any local businesses that I might be interested in going into when I'm planning my trip. This is an amazing tool for Northwestern Ontario. We include Kenora, Red Lake, Sioux Lookout, Ignace, Ear Falls, Mayshon. They're all included in this amazing application. Atikokan is in it. And what we're hoping to do is grow this tool so that eventually it will encompass even further than just the 13C area. We're looking at taking it onto the North Shore. We're looking at Thunder Bay. This is a tool that could really promote Northwestern Ontario and help the tourists determine where they'd like to go. Well, the DDC has definitely taken on a new role, and it's a new sector that we're looking at, and that's the sports, tourism, and recreation events investment. We've hired a new employee, we've seconded a new employee, and what that means is that we have someone who's dedicated to looking at the different sports, recreation, and tourism, and events investment opportunities that Dryden has. This is working with, one, our local user groups that currently exist. If they plan on expanding or hosting special events, the DDC is there to help them. Two, this role is taking on the opportunity of assisting our current user groups on grant applications. I mean, what better place to come to than the Dryden Development Corporation, who realistically is continuously doing grant applications. Now we can assist those user groups to help them grow their events. Three, it's also to take place is to take a look at utilizing our connection with the local businesses and those events and those user groups. So if there's a way we can link up a local business with a tournament, that's where the Dryden Development Corporation is going to come quite handy for those user groups. We are going to work with our local user groups when there's outside events coming in. We're going to promote our facilities. We have some of the most beautiful facilities right here. The baseball diamond right now is one of the best baseball diamonds in Northwestern Ontario. Our job at the DDC is going to be to showcase that facility so that we can bring in those tournaments, so that our local businesses get the economic spin-off from those tournaments. We're going to promote our infrastructure, i.e. the arena. We're going to promote our waterfront, our water capabilities of hosting events. We're even taking a look at working with our user groups, say the seniors, and looking at possibly at some point down the road, looking at hosting a seniors games in Dryden, be it regional or provincial. Our goal is to tap into a market that is out there that we have not tapped into before. And I have to be honest, coming from a sports background, I am very excited about this opportunity. Well, I love talking about the arena. I love talking about any arena, but when it's my hometown arena, I get very excited. Look, everybody knows in most communities, 95% of the communities in Ontario, if you have an arena, that's your hub. That's your central location. That's where people meet on the weekends, be it passing each other in the hallways, be it hosting a tournament, be it your kids are playing hockey and you have to be at the arena 3 times on the same day. The arena is very important. We need to showcase our arena as a place that can do business. That arena, when busy, is impacting the local businesses in the downtown Dryden area, and that is key. So if we can get more events into the arena, if we can promote our arena more and have it being utilized, it benefits the city because it's getting the usage. It benefits the local businesses because they are getting the spin-off of people actually shopping in the downtown area and staying in the downtown area. It benefits the people of Dryden because it's the quality of life that is being shown. But more importantly, it's also a place for people to gather and talk. We all know word of mouth is so important these days. And if I'm in the arena and I've just been to one of the stores in downtown Dryden and I've really had a great experience, when I'm at the arena, I'm going to be promoting that people go to those businesses, and that's key. So I really do think the arena now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, really is a key area when we talk about economic development. The Community Infrastructure Improvement Fund that was actually brought out by the federal government is a wonderful opportunity for Dryden. Here we are looking at opportunities to invest in infrastructure that promotes recreation. And the Dryden Development Corporation worked with the city officials on coming up with the 3 projects. We did have to prioritize them, which is never an easy job, but we did. And the first priority was improvements to the arena. We're not looking for a brand new arena right now. Financing is not there. But that does not stop us from improving on the infrastructure that currently is there. So with our application, we're looking at improving the floors, making them brighter, improving the lighting, improvements to the concession area, improvements to the front lobby. All of this brightens up the arena, it freshens it up so that when we do have outside visitors coming here, it's welcoming, it's inviting. And it also helps them go back to their communities and talk about our arena as being one of the nicest and one of the best. We also took a look at the 2, I guess you'll call them the docking areas. We took a look at Government Dock, otherwise known as Van Horn Landing, and we took a look at Skeen Landing. Both of these areas every year host a major event in the Walleye Masters. Also, every year when I drive, or this year when I drove down to Government Dock with my daughter to go swimming with her friends, it was busy. There were people there. There were people utilizing that area. And what we need to do is enhance that and improve that. Make it even more welcoming for them. Make it so that they want to go back there. When these type of funding opportunities come up, the City of Dryden and the Dryden Development Corporation, we can't let them pass. I understand that some people have come forward and said, we don't have the money to spend right now. But let's look at it this way. If a government is offering us to cover up to 50% of a project, if we apply and we receive that funding, then that other 50% could be put towards something else. And that's what we need to be looking at. We need to be looking at utilizing the opportunities that are given to us and being able to take those opportunities, use them to our advantage, and take advantage of the cost savings of those projects and put those cost savings to other projects that are also need to be done, i.e. local roads. So as you know, the City of Dryden recently just did 2 surveys, a residential survey and the business survey. Dryden Development Corporation took on the role as being the lead on the business survey for 2012. This was a very exciting opportunity. As I spoke to council when it was first presented, I am very excited by these results. There were negative results and there were positive results, but every result matters, be it positive or negative. There were results that came out in the business survey that talked about council. Some of those results for councillors and the mayor were positive. However, there definitely was a disconnect when it came to the performance, the speed of how council deals with issues. Those are things that council can take for the next 2 years and work on. Also, when it came to the business survey, they were very pleased with most of the city services that are being provided. However, there are certain city departments where businesses identified as being not up to standard. And it's my hope that as a city and as the Dryden Development Corporation, we will look at those comments and those areas and improve on them within the next 2 years. So when we come out with another survey, it shows that we did improve in those areas. One of the other things that I found very interesting was there was a question about the Dryden Development Corporation specifically. And there were 25 businesses that actually were dissatisfied or very unsatisfied with the Dryden Development Corporation. And I appreciate that. And I think everybody should take a look at those type of numbers, because that gives you the idea of where you need to head into your future when you're looking at your strategic plan. Those 25 respondents, they are giving me the tool that I need to know that we might need to do more on outreach. We might need to be more of an advocate. We might need to be more proactive in assisting those businesses. So survey results, they're definitely people's opinions, but they're opinions that we need to take seriously. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the people of Dryden, the business owners of Dryden, the businesses of Dryden, and more importantly, I want to thank everybody who put in their suggestions and comments and questions for me today. The Dryden Development Corporation is taking on a new path, if you will. We're taking on a new path of working with our local businesses to make sure that they're sustainable and growing. We're taking on a new role when it comes to sports, recreation, event investment. We're taking on a new path when it talk about bringing in industry. But our main goal is to ensure that Dryden continues to grow, that Dryden continues to benefit from its location, that Dryden continues to promote itself as being the service center for Northwestern Ontario. These are all areas that the Dryden Development Corporation is committed to doing over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We want to make sure that Dryden is getting its fair share of the business opportunities that are out there, and it's our job to grab those, bring them to Dryden, and move forward. The Dryden Development Corporation is always open for business. Our doors are always open, our phones are always open. We are more than willing to sit down, have a chat, talk about your ideas. Your ideas sometimes are the ideas that help us move forward. So we want to hear from you. That's why we went out with the business survey. That's why when I speak to people on the street, I say to them, come by the office, let's have a sit down, let's have a chat. We need to hear from you. We want to work with you, and we want to make sure that Dryden continues to grow. So again, visit our website, www.dryden.ca, click on the Invest in Dryden area, or click on the Visiting Dryden. Also, you can call us at 223-4100, or by all means, you can email us directly at edo@dryden.ca. But again, I want to thank the local businesses. I want to thank the people of Dryden. I am so excited to be here and be the new Economic Development Manager, and I am so excited for the future of Dryden.